There you go. Just confirm that you're seeing my screen, please.
Yes, I know. I can see your
Okay,
screen.
lovely. Do you want me to start a few minutes early, or that's okay with me?
Yes, please. You can start, please. Yes.
Okay, lovely. Well, thanks everyone for being here. It's a pleasure to share this Sunday with you. I'm gonna pop a message in the chat just for everyone attending in case you want to reach out or connect with me. So I'm very happy to be with you today. It's been a long time since I've made a presentation, an online presentation. So I'm really pleased that we're sharing this time slot today. Of course, I want to say thank you to the organizers because it was a very nice. I'm a bit ill, so I'm trying to recover. But yeah, just know that I'm going to cough along the session. Um, Basically, yeah, thank you very much for the invite. I'm really happy to be here and excited to share with you what we're going to cover in the session today. So, my idea, well, before presenting the session, I want to say thank you for all the sponsors and partners. Basically, without them, without sponsors, we couldn't make any of this happen. So I'm really happy that we have great companies, yeah, joining along the way of this learning bootcamp. So yeah, lovely. So my session is going to be about the new normality. We're going to speak about the Dynamic 365 HR infrastructure merge. It's been a topic. It's been a topic that has been there for a while. I think that at least for a year, maybe a bit more. And there are lots of doubts and concerns about this infrastructure merge and where it's going to, what is going to happen. So we're going to cover some topics. I'm going to introduce in a second the agenda. But yeah, that's what the session is all about. So if you're a Dynamic 365 ERP or CRM, you will need to learn or understand what this infrastructure merge is all about. Basically, because there are lots of doubts and there are lots of concerns, and most of the people think that Dynamics HR is dead, but that's not the reason. That's not real. So um, we will discuss, we will go through the main topics about it. You will find that in all the slides I have this QR code. It's a bit blurry, but you can scan it and you go directly to my web. And there you have a lot of resources, not only about Dynamics 365 human resources, but also about um, things like Power Apps for HR, Power Pages. I'm also playing with Power App cards, Power Automate, some sentiment analysis that I made using Power Apps, Power Automate, Microsoft Outlook, and Microsoft Teams. So there are lots of things. And my idea is in the blog to cover not only Dynamics HR, but also every challenge that I'm seeing in human resources departments. So that's basically what you're going to find in my web. So this is me. Um, Now I have my hair has changed a bit. My name is Ana Inés Urrutia de Sousa. I'm a 31-year-old because my birthday was on Friday. I live here in Spain, but I'm originally from South America. Um, I've been living in Spain for a year, and previously I lived in Uruguay. Sorry, in Peru. I'm originally from Uruguay, but I lived in Peru, and now I'm here. Basically, my role, I moved to Spain because my role in in South America was a bit difficult. We don't have as much projects related to Dynamics HR as I would like to work with. And I moved here to start a practice, to build a practice from scratch in a company that's called Accenture. And yeah, that's mainly what I do. So I work in the complete implementation project with customers. I do also create content for social. So I have a lot of hats. But my background is I'm a psychologist and I worked in human resources for a long time. Um, even yeah, during my studies, and after that I worked in human resources department, and I loved it until I worked for a Microsoft partner, and the CEO of the company reached out and told me that I needed to change and move to operations. So that's why I'm now in the technology environment. I'm an MVP since December 2020. I'm the only MVP with knowledge about Dynamics 365 HR in Spanish and English. So I'm in a position to implement with customers in Spanish, but I do also implement in English, and I do prefer projects in English, to be honest. But yeah, that's basically who I am. Just as a side note, I'm trying to learn how to fly planes. Well, I already learned, so if you go to my Twitter, you will see a video. Um, but my goal is to become a private pilot just for fun. So yeah, that's me. Feel free to reach out. This is the agenda that we're going to cover today. So we are going to go through the origins of the infrastructure merge. What happened? Why is this a thing right now? Why is people talking about the infrastructure merge, and why we reached this point? So we're going to be a we're going to do a bit of a recap, and you're going to understand what happened and why we're here today. Then we will cover the topic about migration. So this is really recent. So it's been released, I think, last week, sometime around, yeah, I think that was around Monday or Tuesday. So not that long ago. You're going to be, it's the first time I present a session speaking about the migration, how that's going to happen. So I hope you enjoy it. And then we're going to speak a bit about licensing, because this is a concern for most customers. And we're going to have a Q&A. If you have any questions or any concerns, just feel free to unlock your microphone, and we can speak at the end of the sessions about any doubt that you have. Also, feel free to use the chat. I'm seeing it right now, so I have two screens, and I'm able to answer your questions over there as well. And if you are shy, if you don't want to post a question over there, just send it over through LinkedIn, and I will try to help you. Okay, great. So where we are now, and this is a bit outdated. So what I'm quoting here is a bit outdated. So Dynamics 365 Human Resources, as you already know, is a standalone application that uses a different infrastructure than the rest of finance applications. So the thing is that for integration scenarios, for clarity to the customers, and basically to maintain a nice database, was a bit difficult till now, because there was a different, separate infrastructure, and that was given a lot of problems. So maybe, for example, there were some scenarios where customers needed to re-enter twice information about an employee if they used both solutions. So that doesn't make sense. If you're trying to work smarter, why would you um, enter the information twice in the system? So basically, what happened is that the infrastructure mesh was presented, and the idea is that Dynamics HR will share the same infrastructure as the other finance applications. So the other finance applications are finance, of course, project operations, and Dynamic 365 supply chain management. So those three are going to share the same infrastructure with Dynamics HR. That means that integrations may be easier, and the clarity for our customers may be easy as well. So I'm really happy about this infrastructure merge. But before we jump into conclusions, let's go and understand a bit more what happened. Oh, sorry, what happened with this platform. So we have this. We have, from one end we have finance, and from the other we have Dynamics HR. This solution changed a lot of names along the way. So what we had at the beginning is that I'm speaking about a long time ago, they had a shared infrastructure. So they had all the information in the same infrastructure, and it was easy, and people using one solution was able to so basically the HR module that we have now in finance was the capability that we had in the past. But some project manager in Microsoft decided that it was better if we had this separate infrastructure for both platforms. So since I think it's 2019, we had a separate infrastructure. So people, you know, companies using HR and using finance, they had two separate infrastructures, and they had to do a data integration project within Power Platform Admin Center in order to integrate the information going. This tiny moment, so this separate infrastructure decision, so moving from the shared infrastructure to a separate one, uh, I think that it was not a wise decision, even though I grew in my consulting career with the infrastructure separated. I understand that it's important that they are together. So basically they had all of these HR capabilities working fine in a shared platform. They decided to pull it aside, create a new platform from scratch with a different infrastructure, and that leads us to a lot of problems and troubles with customers. And a while back, they decided to present the infrastructure merge, and that is basically what this session is all about. The session we will cover today. So this infrastructure merge is the most, I think, smart decision that the product team has made in the last year, and they're working very hard to make this happen. So basically, now we are in the best moment to bring our customers into this infrastructure merge if they're happy with that. That's a bit of a story, what happened in the past, what happened in 2019, around 2019 and 2018, and what is happening at the moment. So what's the reason, or why should customers consider moving into these infrastructure merge? I mean, if they're not considering, it's not an option basically. So customers will have to merge anyway, and that is what it is. So they will have to merge. They will have to yeah, they will have to do this migration and understand that is something needed. But some elements to speak with our customers to convince them, but why this is important is that um, we will have something that is very good. So basically, Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations hasn't had a lot of updates in terms of human resources capabilities, but customers that are eligible or in a position to merge the infrastructure, they will gain all the enhancements that have been added over the last 3 years, so to the platform. So basically, we had some leave and absence new features that are very good. I think that my favorite is benefit management, because they made a portal just very good, very nice, very nice platform, and very nice self-service platform for employees. And they also had reporting. So the reporting will be also available for those customers using finance and wanted to migrate. So the second point is that we will have the ability, we had that in the past, but it was a bit tricky. So the customers will have the ability to extend the platform through Power Platform, and that is a good thing, because we are facing some scenarios where our customers are not able to do so. So yeah, I highly recommend having this conversation with your customers if that's the case, and letting them know that the accessibility and the integration will be much easier through platforms that are as simple as Power Platform. Of course, we'll have these improvements related to deployment and maintenance and updates, because we're going to manage everything from LCS. and that will be very easy for us and very helpful for customers. And so basically the thing that I think it's the most important for me is that in the past we had one team working for HR and another team working for finance, but this infrastructure merge uh, means that both teams are going to work together um, to make this platform better. So the roadmap will be shared, and they will be presenting some very good um, advances in every now and then. Great. So we're going to move to migration. So we have two customers that are in a position to do the migration. So the first ones are those that are using Dynamics 365 Human Resources, but they are not using finance or any other finance and operations system. That's one of the cases. And the second one is customers that use both. So basically, we're going to cover, I think that with these two scenarios, we'll cover 100% um, of the of the possibilities within our channel. So the idea is that customers using only HR migrate to the shared infrastructure. We will talk about in a bit how that will look like, and the customers that already have finance solutions, but they want to migrate, they will. I mean, they have both solutions and they want to migrate, they will have to do this migration as well. We're going to cover the steps in a second. So basically what if you have, I don't know if any of you had any experience with Dynamics 365 HR in the last couple of months, but if a customer purchases the platform and the licensing and they want to deploy the platform from LCS, they're going to get a finance and operation environment. So that is basically what we have. In the past, as you know, we had a separate platform, a standalone app that was called Dynamics 365 Human Resources. And when you buy the licenses, you will get that specific platform. But as of now, if you buy Dynamics 365 licenses, 365 HR licenses, you will get a finance environment. So that is how it's going to look like if you're implementing it right now. That's the scenario where you don't have to merge. But if you do have to, this is what we will need to do. Uh, so regardless of these two categories, the customers will need to move the data into a new environment. Um, and of course, this migration will require a bit of work from our customers and of course our end, because we will need to ensure that everything that is being migrated is it's okay. It's doing it's so that the data, that the information it's correct. So it's not an automatic migration. It will require some hands-on experience, hands-on work, and yeah, it's not automatic. That is something important for you to know. Great. So the steps that the customers will need to go live, and all these steps are part of the LCS. I mean, you will perform this in the LCS. Is that basically you will need to complete your project onboarding, as if you had experience with LCS, you know that is simple. It can take a while, but it's simple. Then you will need to complete the methodology. That's another additional step that we need to do. We have to fill out a subscription estimator and complete the go live readiness process. So this is a very like simple way to put the migration steps in a slide. Just know that There are lots of resources, and at the end of the session, I will share with you some resources that you may find useful, to bring some light into the questions that you may have. But basically, this is how the migration will look like. It's not a complex scenario. It will require a bit of attention to detail um, in terms of what information to migrate, and yeah, what information to copy and so on. So it's a good moment to try to clean your environment and try to bring a more consistent information the for um, for the customer. Great, I'm going very fast, so that means that probably I will end early, but I hope you anyway you get a bit of understanding about the platform, about the migration. So what we will cover now is the questions around licensing. So these are very usual, very normal, because in the past we have two different licenses, one for HR and one for finance. Luckily, this won't change. So we will have um, two different licenses as well. We will continue with this license sold as different separate solutions. And the only concern, or the only thing that we will have, is that with this merge, we will be able to use of course, the infrastructure merge, the Power Platform, and Dataverse. So that's the thing. So we are not going to have changes in licensing. So this is going to be pretty much the same. We will have the same minimum number of licenses purchase requirement. For now, we have this minimum that is 5 HR Pros license required at the beginning. Um, then we will have the licenses to production environment and to a sandbox environment. And basically at the end, we will have any additional sandbox licenses if you want to cover that. So I will share the link with you about all these questions that you will have around licensing. But basically, there's nothing to worry about. The only thing that is good is that we are moving into infrastructure that will help our customers to work in a consistent environment, and being able to connect with this new platforms, this Power Platform, and of course Dataverse. That is always important to have, that we didn't have in the past with Dynamics HR. So yeah, I'm going. This is a very quick session. So resources here. If you scan this, it will open you. Let me open here. I created this guide. It opens. Sorry. So basically, if you have any questions around Dynamics 365 and the infrastructure merge, and how things are going to look like, or even you're in a basic position and you have no idea where to go, just know that I created this Dynamics 365 for Dummies. That's the QR code that I'm going to reshare in a second. But here you will find all the resources that you need to learn around Dynamics HR. So learning paths in Microsoft Learn, blogs of people that is writing a lot of good information, the roadmap, the starting points. Then we cover all the modules, so employee self-service, personal management, task management, leave and absence, benefits, compensation, employee development, learning. Those are the modules. Then we cover two very interesting topics about connecting through payroll providers and to ATS. So basically, we had that question every time we have a call with a customer, how we can integrate these two platforms. So you have your answers over there. Then you have all the infrastructure merge thing listed over here, everything we went through. Um, then you have this link. So if you're a developer and you want to learn in depth how to work with Dynamics HR, you have this development overview. And then you have, of course, a link to the community, some resources that you can use to for your conversations with customers, their visual website for HR, the cost, the pricing, and videos you can watch. So that's basically what I have over here in this resource that I shared with you. Just know that in my vlog you will find not only Dynamics HR but also Power Platform, as I mentioned in the beginning, Power Platform, and some other some other how do you say this? How many some others some other blogs and some other challenges using Power Platform mainly. So yeah, just feel free to reach out. This is the entry that I just shared. This is my blog, and that is basically the yeah, where you should find information. So if you have any question or anything you want to discuss, this is the right time. Feel free to open your mic and ask directly any question. And if you don't, just feel free to send it over through LinkedIn, that I will reply right away. Okay, so I assume that there are no questions. That is good. There's no problem. And I know that this session has been very fast, and I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I expected a bit more. I expected to yeah, I don't know. I went very fast. Okay, nice. So this is the questions, and this is my thank you and goodbye slide. I hope you enjoyed the session. If you have any comment or feedback, just feel free to reach out. And yeah, that's basically my session. I'm sorry that we ended early, but I will give you a minute to grab some tea or coffee and to yeah, recharge for the upcoming sessions. So thank you
Thank,
very much.
thank you, Anna. Thank you. That was very informative. Happy birthday to you,
Ah,
as your birthday
thank you.
was quite recently. So yeah,
Yeah, Friday.
thanks a lot for the session, Anna.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for everyone.